Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lewis Pickering Football Show. On today's episode I'm going to be predicting the scores that I think will happen in the upcoming championship fixtures. I'm going to keep a tally of my points, 24 points up for grabs, 2 points for an exact correct score and 1 point for a correct result but not the correct score. I'm going to be keeping a tally each week. Get your predictions in the comments below, and if you do well I'll shout you out. Right, so let's start with the opening game of the Championship weekend. Kicks all the football off again. It's the Friday night fixture between newly relegated Watford and relegation battlers last season Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are my team. Glad that Warnock's staying. I don't think we'll be in a relegation scrap this year. I think if he pushes it anywhere near the top six, it's a great season. Strange one with Watford. Best team in the Championship, best squad in the Championship if everyone stays, no doubt about it in my mind. Few players like Deeney, Delafeu, Pereira, they haven't even played any pre-season, so I don't see how they go straight into the team in the opening fixture. I think it's always cagey. First game, I'm going to back a 1-1 draw. So the early game on Sky Sports on Saturday morning, 12:30 kick-off, is Birmingham against Brentford. New season for both clubs, new manager for Birmingham, Aitor Karanka, obviously previously at Middlesbrough, and Nottingham Forest got championship experience. I think he'll need a few months at least to get his style into Birmingham. I can't see Birmingham being in the top half. Brentford just moved to the new stadium. They've just lost Ollie Watkins, obviously one of the Championship's top scorer last season. For me, the one's Ben Rama. If Brentford keep Ben Rama, I think they'll have a good season. Ben Rama's just, for me, the best player in the Championship. So much creativity, unlocked defences, and I think he's their key player. The thing with Brentford though, hopefully they'll replace Watkins. Obviously they had Morpay, he was their top scorer, replaced him with Watkins, and now Watkins has gone. Hopefully they can go and replace him. I know they've signed Ivan Toney from Peterborough. Was he top scorer in League One last season? I know he's got a bag full of goals, so hopefully he can replace Watkins and do the business. Birmingham at home, hard team. It's very, very tight. I'm going to get Brentford to sneak it 1-0. So the other half-12 game is between two newly promoted teams, Wycombe Wanderers and Rotherham United. I think when the fixtures came out, both teams will have been looking at this fixture thinking it's a great fixture to kick off being back in the Championship. Both teams will fancy themselves. Obviously, we're in the same league last season, in the same league this season. I think Wycombe have obviously home advantage, it suits them, but I think Rotherham will have a miles better season than Wycombe will. You don't want to be getting beat in your first game back in the Championship by a team that's just come up. I think it's a chance to get 3 points, lay down a marker and kick on, and for me it's Rotherham 2-0. Now let's move on to the first 3 o'clockers on Saturday afternoon. It features another relegated side, Bournemouth. I really don't know what to expect from Bournemouth this season. They've lost a lot of players. They've lost Eddie Howe. It's going to be interesting to see how they take to the first few games. I think if they win and get a few points in the first few games, they'll just kick on and be absolutely fine. But it'll be interesting to see the mood of the camp if it doesn't start off too well. They'll go to Blackburn. Blackburn's home record was superb last season under Tony Mowbray. I think Blackburn will be a mid-table team, but they can beat anyone at home on the day. I'm going to back Blackburn 2-1. Let's move on to the next game. Bristol City, Coventry City. Bristol City at home and newly promoted Coventry City. It'll be interesting to see how Coventry City adapt to life in the Championship. Obviously they come up through League One last season, but obviously the season was void and Coventry got promoted because of that. I'm not saying they wouldn't have got promoted anyway, but it was nice for them to not have that pressure going into the last few games of the season. Tight game. I don't think Coventry City will get beat in their first game. I think all their players will be bang up for it. They always are. New league, you've got to set the standard, you've got to show that you belong in this league. I'm going to go for a shock 2-1 Coventry win. Now let's move on to the Battle of the Birds. The Bluebirds versus the Owls. Cardiff City at home, very, very hard to beat. Neil Harris has done a good job taking over from Warnock. Warnock built the foundation and Neil Harris has just took it on from there. Just signed Kiefer Moore from Wigan. Suits Cardiff perfect. Big striker, can hold the ball up good from set pieces. He'll definitely get double figures for me this season. Sheffield Wednesday, very interesting one. Obviously they start with a -12. It'll be interesting to see how the players approach the start of the season. If they get beat the first couple of games, I can just see the mood just completely changing and maybe relegations in store for them. Anyway, like I said, Cardiff City, quality at home, very, very strong Championship team. I'm going for a routine home win, 2-0 Cardiff City. Let's move on to two teams who were in a relegation scrap last season, Barnsley and Luton. Both survived. Nathan Jones come back to Luton Town and done a phenomenal job. Didn't work out for him at Stoke, but he's come back. It seems him and Luton fit hand in hand. what can I say about Barnsley? Second from last game of the season, they were down in the 93rd minute, scored a 94th minute winner at Nottingham, at home to Nottingham Forest, kept them alive with a chance to survival. Then they had Brentford on the final day. Brentford needed a win to get promotion to the Premier League, and Barnsley go get a last minute winner there. So 2 last minute winners in the last 2 games of the season, and suddenly Barnsley is still in the Championship. I think the manager deserves great credit, and I think Barnsley won't be as bad. I don't think they'll go down. I don't think it'll be a last day survival again. Tight first game. I don't see much between these teams. It wouldn't surprise me if they were neck and neck all throughout the season in the bottom half of the Championship. I'm going to back Barnsley just at home, 1-0. Next 3 o'clock fixtures, Derby County at home to Reading. 2 teams have been in the Championship for a while. I think they'll be at opposite ends of the table. I think Derby pushing for the playoffs, Reading just above the relegation zone. I don't think Reading will go down, but I don't think they'll get close to the playoffs. Derby at home, they'll want to start off with a win, start off strong, and I'm backing them to do so. 3-1 Derby. Next game we have Huddersfield Town v Norwich City. Obviously Norwich City just come down from the Premiership. I fancy Norwich to go straight back up. They've hardly lost anyone. They've lost the left back Jamal Lewis. I think he's a great young talent, but I don't think overall he'll make a huge difference to Norwich's promotion. But they've just signed Jordan Hugill, Championship striker. He scored goals at the championship level, you can't deny that. And Pookie, obviously top scorer 2 years ago when Norwich got promoted. I'm backing Norwich to get off to a winning start, 2-1 with Pookie to get the winner. Now let's move on to Millwall Stoke. Probably the tightest game of the weekend for me in the Championship. Really hard to call. Gary Rowett's done a good job at Millwall since he come in. Obviously didn't quite work out for him at Stoke City, so he'll want to get a win over his former club. But since Michael O'Neill's come in at Stoke, the record's been promotion form. I think he'll push them towards. They'll really fancy themselves of getting a playoff place. But so will Millwall, just finished outside the playoffs last season. They'll both fancy themselves of getting in the playoffs this season. Really tight game. I think they'll both have to settle for a point, 1-1. So now we move on to the penultimate game of the Championship fixtures this weekend. Preston North End v Swansea City. Preston were around the playoffs all last season, but then seemed to fall off in the last few weeks. Where Swansea sneaked in on the last day of the season, the crazy last day of the season, when Nottingham Forest got beat 4-1 at home by Stoke, and Swansea went and won 4-1 at Reading, and the goal turnaround somehow happened on the last day of the season. Shame for Swansea fans that couldn't take advantage in the playoffs and they're back in the Championship for another season. 2 players Swansea have lost is Conor Gallagher on loan and Ryan Brewster on loan. Creativity from midfield and goals up front. I think they'll be hard to replace for Swansea this season, and I think they might struggle to score goals. Preston, always a good home team, and I'm backing them to get off to a winning start, 1-0 Preston. So after talking about Swansea, how they squeezed into playoffs on the last day of the season, it brings us nicely to the last game that I'm going to predict the score for. Queen's Park Rangers against Nottingham Forest. I still don't think Forest fans will be over how they didn't end up in the top 6 last year. I mean, for most of the season, it looked like they could get automatic form. They had automatic form. I thought they might sneak into the top 2, and then it slowly faded away, but you thought playoffs was a guarantee. Then the last day of the season, well, we all know what happened. It was absolutely crazy. QPR, it's hard to go win at QPR, but I think Forest will react. I really like the manager. I think he's a good manager. I fancy Forest to react and be pushing for a playoff place again this season. I'm going to back Forest to get off to a winning start, 3-1 at Queen's Park Rangers. Right guys, so that's it for my predictions for the Championship fixtures coming up this weekend. I'm going to be doing it every weekend. Like I said, 24 points up for grabs. If I say Forest going to win 2-0 and they win 2-0, I get 2 points. If I say Forest going to win 2-0 and they win 1-0, I get 1 point for getting the correct result. I'm going to do a tally each week and see what my best score is. Hopefully I can get some good scores in. Hopefully my predictions are close. I don't have no stinkers. If you've liked the video, please hit like. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm absolutely loving YouTube at the moment. It gives me a break. It gives me something to look forward to doing these videos. I love talking about football. My brother v brother in the Championship's just hit over 1,000 views. I can't thank everybody enough. Please hit that subscribe button. If you're watching my videos and not hitting that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Next week I've got loads of videos coming reacting to my fantasy first week, reacting to my predictions for my Championship, and there's another brother v brother video coming. If you've got any video ideas that you'd like me to do, get in the comments below. Also, get in the comments about what you think the Championship scores are going to be this weekend. I'll catch you on the next time. See ya.